Hi, welcome to Hey Parents, Let's Chat. I wanted to have a conversation today with parents out there who, at one point or another, might feel alone, isolated, might feel unsupported. And I wanted to have a chat with all of those parents. And if we're being honest, every one of us has gone through this at one point or another. Some of us as parents might feel this way once in a while. Some of us might feel like this a lot. Some of us might feel this over long periods of time and then go through phases where they feel supported and like they're not alone. So everyone's situation is a little bit different. And you might be in a situation where you are a single parent feeling very alone. You might be in a situation where you're a stay-at-home mom and you might have a super supportive partner. But frankly, while they're working, you're at home and you're by yourself. And you might be a parent that has gone through a divorce. You might be in a co-parenting situation. So there's all kinds of situations, but if we're going to be honest, and let's keep it real here, if you're parenting, there is a pretty high likelihood that you have felt alone at some point during your parenting journey. And so this video, we're going to talk about how to change our mindset and how to come up with a solution for that. And so one of the things that is so super important that all parents know that it's frankly normal. Lots of us feel this way. And here is my message for all of those parents. If you have felt alone, unsupported, or isolated in your parenting journey, that can change, but it's up to you. You're the one that is in charge of whether you feel that way or not. This is important. We cannot control the other person that helped you create this little human being or these human beings, right? Whenever we have children, we're not the only ones that create them, right? And the other person, whether it's a boyfriend or a spouse, or maybe they're not in your life at all, you cannot control that other person. You can talk to them, but you're not in control of them. And so we have to control ourselves, okay? And so we can't also change who or how that other person parents. We can talk to them and we can share our ideas, and they might be supportive and they might not be. And so here's where it becomes super important that we, if we're the ones that are feeling like we're unsupported, isolated, or alone, we have to make sure that we focus on ourselves to make that positive change. We can't change the negative that we're not in control of, but we can change the positive that we are in control of. And here's how we're going to do that. Super important that parents find their pack. They need to have a friend group. And you can do this in a number of ways, and we'll talk about that, but you need to find a friend group that you can hang out with. You can get together for play dates. Your kids can get together. And it gives you an opportunity to chat with other parents. It gives you an opportunity to vent. It gives you an opportunity to listen and realize, oh, I'm not the only one that's going through this. I'm not the only one that has had this happen to them. And I'm going to tell you right now, this was a lifeline for me when I was going through my parenting journey, and frankly still am, because it never really truly ends. And I will tell you that your pack or your friend group can change over time. When my kids were babies, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I'll talk about stay-at-home moms in a moment, but I often felt like I was by myself. my husband was so super supportive, but he was always working. And he often said to me, you know, Jess, for a stay-at-home mom, you rarely ever actually stay home. And that's part of the secret. You have to get out of the house. And you can go to the park, you can go to library story times, you can go to community centers, you can sign up for classes, whether it's like a gymnastics class for your kids or a dance class. Get out of the house. Meet other people. And the more you get out and the more you meet other people, you're going to find your pack. And you need to gravitate or look for other moms or other dads, other parents that share similar values, okay? And they don't even have to share similar values, although it's helpful. It could be something that you're looking for, that you just have something in common, right? And the one thing that you want to make sure that you do have in common with these other parents is that you put the well-being of your children first as a priority. But other than that, it really doesn't matter if you have similarities or not. I know that when my babies were little, I had a friend group that we just happened to meet at library story time, and we were all vastly different. But the one thing we did have in common is that all of our babies were born within 1 month of each other. They were either all born in June or July. It was crazy. We were like, hey, great excuse for, a play group. We got together every single week. And it was fabulous. We were all incredibly different. But the one thing that we shared in common was that we loved being parents. And so we got together with all of our kids. We were able to share stories with each other, ask for advice. One of the most important things that I think is a benefit to having a really good supportive friend group is that you are able to see other parenting strategies, and you can listen and learn and be like, ooh, I like the way she did that. I like the way she talked to her kid, or, I don't like the way she did that. That probably wouldn't work for me and my family. So you're learning a lot about what to do for strategies, also what not to do. But more importantly, it becomes a support group. Which means you have someone that you can talk to. You're not feeling alone. You're not feeling isolated. And if there comes a time when you might need something, perhaps you can share play date times where you're like, hey, I really have to go to a doctor's appointment. Can I leave my kids with you? And then you can swap. We're like, hey, why don't I take the kids so that you can go grocery shopping by yourself? And so you can barter and trade. It's such an incredible lifeline for our sanity as parents. And so you really, really have to find I always say find your pack, right? But you need to find a friend group. And if there is not one in your area, then start one. Create one by going to a community center and asking, hey, can we have some moms get together at 9:30 every Wednesday? I'm just making this up. But go ahead and start one. Take the initiative. Get out of the house. And go ahead and find your pack. I'm telling you, it is a lifeline to your sanity. And you will find that they become some of your closest friends. And again, your pack might change as our lives change. I know I had, excuse me, I had that friend group while our kids were babies. And then my friend group changed once we got into our school age years and we were playing sports. And then I had my sideline friends who, they were also my lifeline to sanity as we were, talking on the sidelines of soccer games about, who was doing this and so said this and here's how I handled it as a parent and oh my gosh, you're not going to believe how I screwed this up. It's such a great way to get things off of our chest. And for those moms that are truly struggling out there, excuse me, if you are feeling like you have no support for whatever reason, change that. There is no reason why any parent out there, as hard as parenting is, we should never be going through this alone. Why make it harder on ourselves? So take the opportunity, get out of the house, go meet other people, create your pack, and be a support system for each other. That is how you can change your life if you're feeling isolated or unsupported. Don't accept that as your reality. Get out and go change that. There are parents everywhere around us that could even be experiencing the same thing. Go find them. Create a support group, and you will feel your life change. You will become a better person for it. You will become a better parent for it. None of us should be going through this alone, whether we have somebody or not. We don't ever want to have those feelings of isolation. So I hope that this was helpful. Go find your pack, and I wish you all the very best. If you have found value in my parenting messages, please subscribe. Definitely share these videos with somebody who can benefit. Hit like, follow us, all of those things. Every time we hit like and share, and every time we subscribe or invite someone else to subscribe because you appreciate these messages, it creates more visibility so that we can reach more parents. And if you want to continue the conversation, comment underneath the YouTube videos, comment underneath the Facebook videos. You can go to heyparentsletschat.com and you can join the conversations there. The more parents we have chiming in with their thoughts, the more that we can learn. And as always, the better parents that we can become. So until our next chat, I appreciate you joining us.